And welcome back to the Weekly Tech Rant with me, Jay,
And me, Karl.
and episode 216, and the 1st of August. August, where did that come from?
I don't know. Well into the summer holidays now.
Well, I mean, I don't know, just all of a sudden, August has appeared. It's like, gosh, the year is flying along at a rate of knots, isn't it? You know,
It is. I don't know about you,
So-
but July seemed to drag.
yeah, July always. I think July's one of those months that feels very long, very long. But hopefully, oh, excuse me, trying to swallow there. Hopefully, August. I mean, August. You say that August always feels long because remember, as a kid, we had the August summer holidays, didn't you? And it's like 6 weeks.
Yep.
It seemed like forever. And then you'd get to the end of towards the end of August, and all of a sudden be like, where did that go?
Back at school. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. And the sooner my kids are back at school, the better. No, I didn't say.
It's a tad noisy at the moment.
A tad noisy, Squire, is the best way to describe it. Yes, absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. So then this week, as promised, we're going to talk some games. But first, we've got some tech news to share with you around Nvidia, Anthropic, Sony, and Trump, of course. Of course, Trump. There's always something to do with Trump. And then we're going to talk games. We're going to talk Cleared Hot, which is a game we played the demo of. It's not out yet, but the demo is definitely hot. We'll tell you our latest thoughts on Grey Zone Warfare, which we've pumped hundreds of hours into. Yep. There's Robocop Rogue City Unfinished Business. And Battlefield 6 is now a real game. No longer the rumors, people. It is here. And very shortly, we'll be talking about the demo and the beta, which is available very soon. But first, let's kick off with Nvidia's leaked N1X chip for ARM, which but it seems like a bit of a sting in the tail, doesn't it?
Yeah. So, obviously we've talked about Nvidia making an ARM desktop chip for Windows devices, the N1 and the N1X. We've talked about this before, but there's been some more information on it, hasn't there? Partly due to one of Geekbench has like an online results database that when you run a benchmark to, it submits your information. So one has appeared for the N1X. I only got the details on its OpenCL benchmark, but it's coming in at respectable or slightly, well, I don't know. It's coming in at 46,000 points, which is kind of the equivalent at the moment to an RTX 2050, which
That's pretty good.
Isn't great. But obviously, we have to bear in mind this is early production.
Yeah.
Looking at the specs reported, it's slightly oddball. For a start, the cores are only running at 1,000 megahertz, which seems rather low for a CPU, GPU clock speeds. But it's also running 60 gig of RAM.
It's like, well, back it up a second.
So, one's really large and one's really small. So this is clearly a pre-production massively. And actually, when you get down to looking at these specs, it's got a pair of 10-core Grace CPUs in a cluster. It's got 48 compute units, which is, 128 CUDA cores per unit, so over 6,000 CUDA cores, which is equivalent to a 5070. But if you start to compare those specs, it looks suspiciously like Nvidia's DGX Spark, their desktop AI system. So I'm suspecting this is a slightly modified version of that, or clocked down, or binned, or whatever you want to call it, to start to emulate what it's really going to look like. And I suspect this isn't the actual chip.
No, and this happens quite a lot, though. We saw this with, wasn't it, some of the M chips before they were released, when they showed up on Geekbench with different specs, and people were wondering what version of the chip is this. So,
well, even before on the M chips, the dev units were running iPhone.
That's
socks,
what they were.
They were running the A.
Yeah.
iPhone or iPad, A something X, wasn't it, or Z or?
That's right. They were. Yeah.
They weren't running actual M1 chips. And I can't imagine this similar vein. But it's good to see things have started, kind of leaking out or appearing online, I should say, because allegedly we will get an announcement in early next year, 2026.
I was going to say, that seems ages away, but it's not.
Well, it's not really. It's 4 months and a bit.
Oh, don't. I can't think of it like that. But I mean, look, we've been talking for a long time about how we wanted to see better ARM laptops, wasn't it? And, we know that Apple can do this because obviously the M1's built on ARM, the M series, is built on ARM architecture. But there just hasn't really had there hasn't been that inflection moment yet, has there, in the Windows world, for at least, that has seen ARM take
No.
off the way they were hoping to. Obviously, we've got good Qualcomm chips. Microsoft are building new Surface units. The compatibility layer Windows is not an issue anymore to the degree it was, but we just don't see the performance really, do we? That Apple particularly have managed to achieve with the M series. So look, Nvidia
Yeah.
have got the capability here, haven't they, to do this, and the design architecture that they're working on here. If they ported it out, it could be pretty impressive. I think in the long run.
Yeah, and when you compare it to Apple, I think we're in a very different world with Windows as we are with Mac OS and Apple.
Always,
Apple decided we're going ARM, and that's basically it. That's the only choice you got. Whilst Windows is all about options. Even if ARM does take off, you still got the option to go back to x86 or have a hybrid or something else completely. It has that backwards compatibility and it has that breadth of hardware you just don't get with with Mac. You get what Apple say you get.
I think you're right. They did do that, but they also built in the Rosetta layer, didn't they? Straight away.
They did, but from the point on that Apple said this is what you've got. That's the only hardware you could buy, other than going and buying a second-hand unit off eBay.
Yeah.
You can't do that with Windows. That's not the way it works. It's all about the partners and the different hardware.
But I think in the long run, the type of architecture we see with ARM is probably where things are going to head, isn't it, for consumer desktop-based computing? Because it works, and we're getting much more efficiencies the way the chips are designed, the way the memory's onboarded, and I know that kills the prosumer upgrades, but I think that's where a lot of these things are going to end up going. Really, I think.
Yeah, a lot of laptops now you get soldered on memory. Yeah, you do. Or not so much storage in the Windows world, but we definitely see it with memory, though it's soldered on rather than part of the SoC. Because quite often you'll get soldered on memory, then an extra DIMM slot that you can do a bit of expandability with.
A little bit. There's the illusion of upgrade, isn't it?
Yeah, I've got it on my my Zeus, my gaming laptop, the ROG one. I ordered new memory for it. Realized it only actually had one memory slot, and the rest was soldered on. I was like, can't quite get to 64 gig of RAM. I'll have to do with 48.
Well, what's 48 between friends?
Yeah, exactly. It just wasn't quite what I had planned.
No, not at all. But I like you say, it is that capability. But I mean, I think the Apple approach of putting the RAM, the storage, and the chip all on the same SoC, as it were, I mean, that's a massive performance. I don't see a lot of the Windows-based machines moving to that yet. Qualcomm probably could go down. Even Nvidia certainly could.
Yeah, even the storage, Apple doesn't quite put it on the SoC, does it? It puts the control
it's built in that interconnect, isn't it? Yeah.
But the SSD itself is still in a physical slot on most of their, or some of their kit at least.
But they've built that interconnect, haven't they? That gives you that huge bandwidth.
Yeah. They nobbled it. It's not quite standard, is it?
No, nothing. No,
Apple flavor. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So we could see similar in the Windows world, but hopefully it'll be a bit more standardized interface that you'll be able to upgrade your SSD, and it's just really the flash storage chips you're upgrading, not the controller.
Definitely. So I'd be interested to see where this goes. But like you say, it's more than likely some development unit that they're using to test things, isn't it? And rather than some production model. But still, it very interesting all the same.
Definitely.
All right then. So let's talk about Claude. Claude Code, which is Claude's agent AI tool, isn't it? Where it can run platform services, it can read code, it can push commits. Effectively, it's the agent side of Claude, isn't it? Which is very clever. And we're seeing it, and I don't know if you're aware, ChatGPT have obviously rolled out their agent as well. I've used it a couple of. I'm still trying to find a use for it. Does that make sense? I've played for it. It's very good. But I think I haven't quite stumbled on my
paying for at the moment. Are you OpenAI currently, or are you on Claude currently? Or
so Claude. So Claude, I paid up front. They did me a really good deal.
You did, didn't you? You bought a year's worth, didn't you?
And they did. Yeah, they did. They did it, and they basically. I think I can't remember how much saving it was, but it was huge. And I thought, I'm not going to say no to that. I'll take it. And I play for ChatGPT, which, because of the fluctuations in the currency means
Belarus?
last about £17 a month, I think it was last time.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is Claude Code then. So this is their, like I say, their agentic version, and they've brought in some rate limiting, haven't they? Which is,
yes,
inevitable, I suppose.
Yes. Yeah, I think this is to kind of combat that ever mounting cost of AI, isn't it? Yeah. So look, rate limiting. There have been some users apparently that have run Claude Code continuously in the background 24/7. So like it usually is, it's the minority of people abusing it that ruins it for everyone else. But also, Anthropic is saying that they suspect some users are violating its terms of service by sharing or reselling accounts. Yeah. So look, even if you are one of their biggest paying customers, because obviously they have Claude Pro, which I presume is what you bought, and Max, don't you?
Which
the Max
is a big boy
accounts,
plan, yeah.
starts at $100 and go all the way up to $200 a month, I should say. But even apparently, that's not enough to cover the costs of running Claude Code 24/7.
Nope. And
no, so yeah, new rate limits coming in.
Yeah, they are coming in, so I've got the email here that was sent to me on the 28th of this month. Yeah. And they reckon it will affect. This is according to Anthropic. Reckon it will affect less than 5% of users based on current usage patterns. And they've said that advanced usage patterns like running Claude 24/7 are impacting system capacity for all. So what they're saying is from the 28th of August, you'll get weekly usage limits alongside the existing 5-hour limit rate, which is rather annoying, by the way.
Yeah.
So there'll be a usage limit resets every 5 hours, no change. Overall weekly limit resets every 7 days. Claude Opus 4 weekly limit resets every 7 days. And it says, as we learn about how developers use Claude Code, we may adjust usage limits to better serve Unity. These changes will not be applied until the end of your next billing cycle. So, given that I didn't pay for that, given that I've all paid up, does that mean that I won't be impacted till next year?
No, your billing cycle is monthly. You just paid for lots of months. You know what's going. But I was looking at some of these rate limits, and they're a bit vague. From what I can understand, you can send approximately 900 messages with Claude every 5 hours, whatever a message is. I don't understand what that one is. Or send approximately between 200 and 800 prompts with Claude every 5 hours. That's a massive 200, 800 gap.
I have bounced off the limit on Claude in a day many times, and I'll be honest with you. Recently with ChatGPT, I haven't had that happen for a long time. Where you're in a single chat, chat instance, if you will, and leveraging it. And I've been using it to edit text, help me sort loads of data, summarize PDFs, loads of work in a single day. And it hasn't bounced off it. But Claude, you can do 20 minutes using it to do the same stuff, and it's like, oh, you've run out of capacity for today.
Somebody, I was reading on Reddit, and lots of people hitting these issues. Somebody was saying, well, I've apparently gone through 900 messages in 30 minutes. How is that possible?
Yeah, there's something very odd there, and I don't know how,
Well, maybe it's the way it's counting it.
Well, yeah. I mean, according to Claude, they reckon that most users won't notice any difference, yeah? And it says most pro users can expect 40 to 80 hours of Sonnet 4 within their weekly rate limits. This will vary on factors such as code base size and usage settings, etc. Users running multiple Claude Code instances will hit limits. Yeah, but it's like I was trying to work this out. I was like, I a bit like you was struggling to understand what does that translate into for me, as in a user per day, and I really can't work it out.
I suppose until they start actually putting in an interface and maybe telling you live what your current usage is,
definitely,
an estimate of how much you've got left, it's going to be very hard to tell. Everyone uses it a bit differently, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely. It just is a very peculiar setup, Given that, say, the ChatGPT one used to bounce off quite easy, that used to happen all the time as well. You used to bounce off that really quickly, and it'd be really annoying. But yeah, it just doesn't happen anymore it must happen, I rephrase to say, but I'm seeing far greater usage capability than I get with Anthropic, which is meant that for me personally, I was thinking my usage of Anthropic has gone down massively. It is not my go-to tool anymore. ChatGPT is really improved, really has.
Well, okay, interesting. Isn't there rumours we got a ChatGPT 5 coming out at some point soon?
There is, and Sam Altman has said that there won't be. He apparently hates the model picker, so that will go away. You'll just get ChatGPT 5.
Okay, and it will decide what's the best model to use.
It will decide what's the best model to use, and it will then give you, the right version to work with.
Okay, interesting.
Which I think actually makes sense because if for 99% of users, you look at the model picker and it's like, well, what's better? And it's not always clear what is the right.
No, in the times I've used, I've sat there and gone, I don't bloody know. I just want to put a question and get an answer that's correct out. You tell me. I'm not the AI expert here.
No, so I definitely think moving to a single model, but then in that model give you the research mode or then
there's lots of models underneath it. It's just it's some clever at the start that
absolutely
reads what you're saying, goes or maybe it might be several models. This part of it I can answer with this model, and this part I can answer with that model, and then we'll combine them all afterwards.
And I think that's probably where we're going with it. I think it will start to leverage capabilities within itself to do that. Yeah. But at the moment, it's which one do you want?
What's that one? Pick of all trades, master of none.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so you don't want that, surely.
No, not at all. But this is going to be interesting. I haven't used the coding side of it. I might do next week. I've got a bit of a quieter week next week. I might have a play around with Claude. I couldn't say the word Claude Code and see what it gives me.
Oh, okay, yeah. You can update me 2 hours in when it stopped working.
Yeah, about 2 hours, might 10 minutes. All right, so let's move on then. What's to Sony then? And
it's kind of game-ish, but it's not in our game section, is it?
No, it's slightly because different vibe, isn't it? I see what.
Yeah, so Sony of PlayStation fame. We know Tencent as well. Well, Sony has filed a lawsuit against Tencent to prevent the release of its new game called Light of Motorum. Which Sony claims, Motorum. Sony claims this is a slavish clone of its Horizon game series. So in the complaint, Sony alleges that basically unlawful copying of the protected audio-visual elements of the Horizon game. So basically, the style of it, as well as deliberate adoption of the confusingly similar character mark, constitutes both copyright and trademark infringements that should be enjoined immediately. According to this lawsuit, Tencent started work on the game in 2023, and at the Game Developer Conference in 2024, Tencent allegedly approached Sony and pitched them on a proposal that would allow its studio subsidiary to develop a Horizon sequel game under the requested license. Now, Sony rejected this idea and has since had further discussions with Tencent trying to resolve this issue. But Tencent just keep coming back saying, we'd like to license Horizon's intellectual property. And Sony are going, no. Now,
no, because it's ours.
Basically, we've made a Horizon game for you. Could you please buy it from us? And Sony went, no. So Tencent are trying to release this as an actual game. And now I'll watch the trailer. And I own some of the Horizon games, which I play on my I play them on my Stream Deck when I'm traveling. They're quite good. You can play them offline. It's great. Wow, it's basically identical.
Damn,
it's like they've just taken the game and changed a couple of names.
I mean, so basically, we asked for permission. You didn't give it, so you know what?
Well, we built a game and spent a year developing it, then came and asked for permission.
I mean, that is bonkers, isn't it? That they would go and do that. I mean, I've had a quick look from the research, look at the images, and I mean, I've not played it, but I know what the game looks like, and I know, some of the kind of key elements to it. And I was looking at that going, to my, layman, I was like, if you'd show me just the screenshots, I would have definitely said it was just.
You would have gone, it's the sequel.
Yeah, what's
the
it called?
Next version in the series. Yeah, when's it out?
Yeah. I mean, God, Sony. And let's be honest, we know Sony have got some legal, some dogs to let loose there, so it's going to be. But then painful.
It's Tencent. So what happens if they just release it in China?
Which they will do probably,
and not in the rest of the world. Then Sony basically aren't going to be able to do anything.
No, they're not. They're not at all.
So it can be banned or whatever you want to call it over here, but it won't actually affect them if they only release it in China.
No, they Yeah, they haven't got really. They can't really do anything, can they? Like you say, unless it's in Europe or America.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll see where that one goes. But yeah, it's a blatant clone.
Man, this is crazy, crazy. I mean, I can't believe. I mean, I can't believe. I can't believe they'd be so blatant. I think is probably what I was thinking of. Yeah, at the time.
Yeah, it was very much we're building this as a rip-off to make money. It'd be great if we had the actual license, but if we
Yeah,
haven't, we haven't.
yeah. If we had the actual license, you could make a bit of money too. Do you fancy that?
Yeah.
Oh, they're like not sure whether that's how we want to play this. Yeah.
No, not at all.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh.
Speaking of clones, though, the
Is he?
TikTok saga continues.
I was gonna say, is he a clone?
No. He is not, but it's the clone of TikTok, isn't it?
Oh yes.
Yeah, so in the latest update of Trump's on again, off again love affair with the platform, it's apparently off. So in a statement, is it Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick?
That's him, yep.
He's confirmed that if China won't approve the latest version of the deal, which could result in like that cloned version of TikTok app made just for the US, the administration is willing to shut down TikTok, and soon, apparently. Yeah, he kind of went on to say, well, look, China can have a little piece of ByteDance. The current owner can keep a little piece. But basically, Americans will have control. Americans will own the technology, and Americans will control the algorithm, which is the bit they're really after, isn't it?
Yeah, of course
the
it is.
algorithm. It's a secret
they want
source.
Yeah, exactly. Once again, it just beggars belief, doesn't it? You know, and it is Trump again doing a U-turn because apparently he was the side, but nobody wants to. The problem is ByteDance don't want to sell it, do they? Let's be honest. They don't want to sell it. They don't want to sell it to the people that
Trump's got lined up.
Trump's got lined up, and you know they're not willing to listen. Ultimately, isn't it? That's the bottom line.
And the US is unwilling to bend on the requirement about the US control of the algorithm. And Trump is unwilling to sell, so stalemate.
And Trump is absolutely, convinced that the Chinese would want to do business with him.
It's good for the Chinese, apparently. I'm still not entirely sure how.
You try to put your head in the mind of this man, and it's just like it's just what comes off the end of his tongue, isn't it? Like doosh and gone.
Yeah.
And currently, there's all the tariffs that are going on. There's a bit of a kind of a truce, isn't it, between China and the US at the minute? This kind of cooling off period that's going to end potentially at the end of the month. So it'd be interesting to see.
Something else was delayed for another 90 days again, but now I can't remember what it was.
I know the tariffs had been delayed for 90 days, hadn't they?
Yeah, something's been delayed another 90 days. I'd heard, but I can't.
Because he
must have read it yesterday, but now I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, because yesterday he announced that all the other tariffs were coming in, didn't he? Because he dropped tariffs on another 90 countries.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, as of this morning.
Are they all real countries, or just wondering?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
Has anyone checked the list to make sure they're actual real countries? Their data checking capabilities.
Well, the US stock market has opened badly, as you can understand.
Oh god, I haven't looked at my stocks. I daren't open the app.
So, according to the BBC, they reckon that the US Treasury bought in $28 billion in tariffs in June, but the national debt of the US is $36 trillion.
Oh, and it's only going one way, isn't it?
Yeah,
up.
And Trump was quoted as saying after his inauguration in January that tariffs would direct hundreds of billions of dollars and even trillions of dollars into our treasury to strengthen our economy and pay down debt. It's rubbish. Ultimately, that money's coming from the US consumer, isn't it? Because they're the ones.
He doesn't understand. He still doesn't. Well, maybe he understands how they work now, but he's adamant that's not how they work. He's just going to carry on.
He does understand. He just doesn't give a monkeys, does he, about how this works?
Well, it doesn't actually affect him, does it?
No, of course it doesn't affect him a single dot. It's only, it's only looking good for him, isn't it? Which is he cares about.
Talking of looking good, did you see that video of him playing golf in Scotland?
What, cheating?
Well, the cheating one, yeah, where he got his caddies to quickly kick the ball backwards for him.
Yeah, walking along and just dropping.
It probably wasn't the same ball. It was a new ball, wasn't it? Dropped a new one out of the pocket into a better position for him.
Yeah, Nothing surprises me with that man. Nothing surprises me.
Yeah. And that's
So
how it
then,
behaves when it's only a game.
yes. Talking of games, then let's talk about some
Yep.
good stuff, then, shall we?
Let's do.
So first off, then let's talk about Cleared Hot, which is got to be the spiritual successor to all of the Strike games, isn't it?
Desert Strike.
Jungle Strike,
Desert
Urban
Strike. Yep.
So I've been playing. I played the demo, same as you have,
Yep.
which is currently there. What do you think? Tell me your first impressions, because I'd love to hear what you thought of it.
Now, I've not played too much, but I've playing on and off, just little bits here and there on the Steam Deck. So it's like great, like you play on the Mega Drive. Great portable game. Doing your traveling, dive in and out whenever you want to. Thoroughly enjoyed it so far. The very first mission where you suddenly die at the end or crash your helicopter.
That was a bit of a shock.
I was like, oh, what already? But no, it's easy to pick up, put down. It's quite addictive. It's brought back so many memories of the original Strike games. I spent a lot of time playing those. I'm excited to get the full game out because I want to let the kids play it as well. So I think they would thoroughly enjoy it.
So, but like you say, the first it starts off. It's kind of like one of those. There's a name for it, isn't there? These films where it starts off
flashback, isn't it?
Flashback, isn't it? That's the word I was thinking of. Yeah, but it's kind of a flashback to him, but effectively it's like Desert Strike. You're in the desert. You're flying the Apache, aren't you?
Yeah.
You've got to take out some areas. You can use your grappling hook to pick up fuel and ammunition.
Extra missiles, that kind of stuff.
Missiles. But unlike the original games, there's physics in play here, isn't there?
There is, yes.
Your helicopter can pick up stuff and lob. It can lob things into the air, so you could pick up a weapon, as in like a weapon emplacement, and you can let go of it and fling it in the air. You can also catch missiles as well using the grappling hook. And then he says it goes out to kind of the next part of the demo, which brings you into, like, I guess today, isn't it? And you're in Texas, flying a small little helicopter and doing stuff. And the demo is impressive. It's pretty tricky at times. It really is. Once those missiles get locked onto you, it's really tricky. But it brings the elements of Desert Strike. There's jungle. I've seen the other videos that are there. There's element Jungle Strike because you've got different helicopters. There's urban elements to it. So Microprose are publishing this. It's developed by Not Knowing Corporation and Seafinger Games. And I think it's going to be an absolute winner.
I will buy it. I will hand over actual money when it comes out. As long as it's not stupid. Well. I mean, I suspect it'll be like 30 quid.
Yeah, I can't see why it being expensive. It's not. I shouldn't say it's not a AAA game. That's not fair to the developers. But you're right. It's not a Cyberpunk, is it?
They haven't spent hundreds of millions on the visuals. It's not a full-on movie-level production kind of thing.
No,
it's a
kind
top-down
of
isometric. Great graphics, but not that kind of money graphics.
No, you're talking minimum Windows 10, Core i5, 2500K, 8 gig of RAM, a GTX 960, and 2 gig of hard disk space. So it's not really, not massively worried about, is it?
No.
But I, like I say, it is very good. It captures all of, I think, of the nuances of those games from the 90s, and with the 80s kind of action film feel to it as well, isn't it? So I think this is brilliant. I cannot wait for it to come out. Really recommend, if you've got access to Steam, go download the demo Cleared Hot and get some of that hot helicopter action. So then, let's move on to Grey Zone Warfare then, which is kind of our I'm going to say our favourite go-to game at the moment, isn't it?
It is. I haven't played too much in the last week or two. It's just been too busy. We've had our end of our year, haven't we, at work? So it's been...
we have to do some real work.
We have to do some actual work. Yeah, exactly. So no time for games. But maybe this Sunday we'll get online and have a go. But yeah, so we had a fairly big patch out at 0.3 because we're still in alpha. Came out. It's had a few point patches since. But yeah, it's been a big upgrade, hasn't it? A lot more stable.
Massively stable, yeah.
Massively more stable. A lot of good quality of life improvements. Okay, the mission, when they bring out new major versions, it resets the game and you have to start from the beginning. So we've done some of these missions 3 or 4 times now, haven't we?
Well, I was just going to say that's the annoying part. So when they released the previous kind of major patch, the 0.3 patch,
yeah,
they said, didn't they, that you'd have an opportunity to decide whether or not you wanted to reset your progress, wasn't it? And
They
we were kind of
did.
umming and ahhing about, well, maybe do we want to or not? But it
We didn't
turned
have the
out
option
that
this
didn't
time.
happen. Yeah, it didn't
No, and I
happen.
think that's because they've kind of managed to change the order around, haven't they? They've added
They
lots of
did,
new
yeah.
missions in, like Hunter's Paradise, which is an area within the game. You usually get access to quite early, don't you? After you've done most of the first town, you get access to it. I've not even stepped foot in it yet, and we're
No,
probably
no,
further
not
than
at
we've
all.
been in
No.
any other version of the game.
But the missions, as you say, got restructured. The landscape was updated as well. You know, the
Yeah,
kind of the foliage, but more importantly, this weather system they brought in, didn't they? It's really changed the game
yeah,
as well.
yeah.
You know, real night and day function now.
Yeah, we've got
But
night and day, proper different weather. Although I would say it rains slightly too
it
much.
rains, but I guess we are in Southeast Asia and it is
We
wet in
are, we
general.
are. The biggest new bit for me though was the fact that we can hand over when we completed a mission. You always used to have to go back to base
Oh
to
God,
hand it
yes,
in and
yes.
get your reward, get your next missions. Now, for a lot, not all of them, but the majority of missions, you can hand in and pick up new ones on the fly out in the field, which has made so much of a difference to the pace of the game for us.
That's a really, really, really strong point. You're right, because you say we did a mission or two. If there was one thing, you had to get back. You had to get back to an LZ, jump in the helo, fly back to the base. As you say, offload those. But now you can complete missions in the field, can't you? Most of them.
Yep.
If you need to hand off of them, you don't have to go back to base. You can go to one of the combat outposts, which if you've unlocked. If not, you can,
Oh yes,
you can
combat outpost.
liberate
Yeah.
them. But you're right. You know, we've gone from doing a couple of missions, you know, in a session to 4 or 5 missions on the
Or even
fly.
6 or 7, some of them are in the
Yeah,
early bits. And it kind of helps, especially when we're playing as a team, because we're at different levels. Sorry, my machine is making weird noises now. Not sure
it's for
what is
you.
going. It's for me. Yeah. So, yeah. What was I say? When we're working in a team, sometimes we're at different levels. So it's great that we can tackle different missions at the same time because they're in the same area, and yeah, it just makes it a better playing experience, I think.
Oh, massively. I think it really has. And like you paraphrase what you're saying, the pace of the game has escalated. You're right. I think it's getting better. What I will say though is the difficulties increased. Certainly in some areas we found that
Yes and no. I was going to say there are certain
certain
missions in the game where
elements.
you have to kill like 20 people in an area, don't you? Or you have to kill a boss. And when you were a team beforehand, you all had to do it individually. So if I killed a person, it didn't add to yours, and that was one less person in the area for you to kill.
Yeah,
But
that was really annoying, wasn't it?
now as a team, though, if we've got 20 people, we've all got the same mission, and I kill 5, you can't kill 5, our friend kills 5. We've done 15 between us. It all adds in. And the same as the
Yeah.
big one was the boss, wasn't it? Because there's only
Which
a
we were
boss.
unsure about, though, weren't we? Just to be
Yeah.
clear on that, we weren't really sure whether or not that was going to happen. But yeah, you're right. So with the bosses,
Killing the boss now, though, trying to find the boss seems to have got a lot harder. And I don't know whether this is because there are a lot more people playing it now, and there's only one boss per session, and until it resets, and maybe that's the issue. But yeah, it's a lot harder to kill the boss and to find some keys actually sometimes.
keys definitely keys have been really really annoying around the kind of the dropping of those with the NPCs. In fact, I'd almost say that I've struggled to get keys far more than I've any other time. And in
I've got a
fact,
lot
some
of
of the keys
keys,
I've
but
got.
not for what I need.
No. That's what I'm saying. They've been like the kind of low level, open a door,
Yeah,
nothing behind it, as opposed to I need XYZ boss house key, you know,
that's it.
to
Yeah.
gain to progress the game. And I found that I've managed to find one or two, but they've been in the the free lockbox.
Yeah, well,
The
someone's
base.
used it, chucked it in as a please
Yeah,
take it, might help you kind of thing.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, there's been some not so great parts. I think in this one they changed some of the vendor levels.
yeah.
So
That's
like
true. Yeah.
basic stuff like water and
Oh,
bandages,
crazy.
you don't get at level 1 anymore. You have to get lab rat to level 2, or was it 3? I can't remember now. To get basic stuff. We were kind of lucky that we have one of the top tier supporter packs, and it came with a lot of bandages and water. But there's still points where it's like, I've run out of water. I now have to scavenge bodies to find water
I was
or
going to
cans
say
of
it's a
Coke
lot
or
of this.
coffee just to stop dying.
There's a lot of looting going on, isn't there? Of
There
bodies
is. It is. And it's the
just
same as some of the ammos. Like on the supporter pack we've got, you get the M700 sniper rifle.
That's right. Yeah,
Out
one
of
of
the
the top
gate.
tier
Great.
snipers. Yeah.
Yeah, but you've only got limited ammo, and you can't buy any more ammo till quite far in the game. You have to have unlocked a whole other vendor, but he's 3 or 4 vendors in. So I've only just unlocked the ability to buy more ammo for it, and it's one of my favourite guns. So look, I think some of that still needs a bit of tweaking.
And we also saw that though with one of the other new weapons that was released as part of the game, wasn't it? It was the supporter pack, which was the MCX
Yes.
assault rifle. That
Oh, we need the
chambered.
.300.
Yeah, so it's chambered for .300. Yeah, it isn't clear, is it? When you get to that point,
No,
you
because it
need to
uses the same
magazines. Yeah.
magazines as the M4. You know, well, I've got plenty of that. Stick it in, and then realise you can't actually fire anything.
No, and it says that you can rechamber it for 5.56, but you've got to find a different barrel. But of course, the barrels aren't available to buy because the level's so high. So yeah, I think they obviously they're still testing here. They're still giving us parts of the game that they want us to evaluate. But it is frustrating at times, isn't it?
Yeah. Though I did see literally about an hour or two before we came on air, there is they released the patch notes for the next 0.3.4
Have they?
live testing. Yep. And it fixes some of the issues we were just talking about. So boosted drop rate of keys. But only Fort Narif. I was like,
well, that's one of the areas we
right,
don't need.
I need it for Vampire. Adjusted the weather schedule to provide a more varied overall weather profile. This one you'll love. Right, how many times have you been walking in the woods and realised you can't go forward because there's a stick on the floor?
Oh, what, the classic GTA style stick that you know?
Yeah. So they've apparently removed collisions of wooden logs placed on the ground. Huzzah! One that I think's probably affected us several times is something keeps beeping on PC. And I really have no idea what it is.
Yeah, like emergency.
So
location.
apologies, people. I don't know what is going on. But yes, so what was I saying? Adjusted the way sliding from a steep hill is detected, which should result in a decrease in accidental and unrealistic deaths.
Oh, that happened quite a lot, wasn't it? Sliding down the hill and dying.
Yes, a slight slide and we've died. Yeah. And there's some fixes in the AI, so which I think are good ones. So apparently they're going to fix the light direction of AI flashlights to better affect where they're actually looking.
Oh, see, that's quite handy because you and I both, and our friend, often playing at night. It's quite handy to see the flashlights of the enemy because it gives you a zero in, doesn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And adjusted AI's vision to better address the environmental and weather conditions. Because I have still come across some Terminators where they're wearing flip-flops, firing from the hip, and kill you with one single bullet from 500 meters away.
Yep, and also
they'll take a whole mag as well, won't they?
I was just going to say, you've emptied a whole mag of armor-piercing rounds into them, and
they're not even wearing armor, and they're still standing.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They're just, and you're like, what? And then somebody else comes along and does a single headshot, and they're dead. And you're like, what? What did I do differently?
Yeah. So there are still some infuriating bugs, but on the whole, it has got a lot better with the latest update. Definitely.
Yeah, no, it's very, very good. So we are thoroughly enjoying it, and we'll continue to keep you updated.
What's the next one? The next major one, 0.4. I think that adds to the story, isn't it? I think they might start unlocking stuff in the radiation zone.
Well, that's it's at the core of the map, isn't it? The radiation zone, which originally you could go in there, and unless you got really deep into it, there was never any radiation. Now you step inside it, a few hundred meters, and you get radiation sickness.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So, but there's a whole story around that apparently, and the history of the island, which I think is going to start to be unlocked with 0.4.
Yeah,
but that's not till I'm about to say fall, but we're not too far away from fall, are we?
No. But the thing is, I find that with that though means that we'll have a reset. But the storyline, that's the thing. We haven't really had the storyline. There's elements in the missions, isn't there? There's bits of a story. You go from this mission to that mission to find something. But there hasn't been, I guess, a thread has there underneath it that keeps everything together.
Yeah, and I think that one of our favourite games is Ghost Recon.
Yeah,
which is similar in ways. It's obviously nowhere near as realistic as what Grey Zone is.
No.
But it has lots of those kind of go here, do this kind of missions. But it has that story thread across it, which I think will be good to add to this, especially since we don't do P versus P, do we? We do.
No, I haven't got the patience for that.
No, I die all the time. I lose my kit. I just get frustrated.
Yeah, rage quit.
Exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, well, we look forward to seeing how this kind of progresses. I would like some vehicles, though.
Yeah, you're not getting those. You know, you're not getting those.
I'd love to be able to fly a helicopter or drive a jeep or a bike or something.
Oh, I think a boat would be handy. Actually, I think.
Or a boat for some animal. Just, yeah, I'm not asking for Apache gunships and F-22s and tanks, but just some quicker way of getting across the island. A nice little jeep that we can all sit on and just hang out the side and shoot people would be quite fun.
Yeah, I don't think you're getting that, but it's worth a try.
We'll see. We'll see.
All right, so let's move on and talk about another game, RoboCop Rogue City Unfinished Business. So this is and it's not a DLC, and it's not really a sequel. It's more of a standalone adventure, which is following on for the events of RoboCop Rogue City, which was a game that came out, was it 2023, from Teon, published by Nacon, and it was kind of a, I'm not going to say AAA. I'm going to say AA title, that brought an original story of RoboCop. Elements of the first and second films, and this one has elements of the third film, and voiced by Peter Weller as well. I must stress that it was
Brilliant.
fantastic, exceptionally camp in places, very funny humor, graphics great, gameplay not so great. They overpowered RoboCop's sidearm, and it becomes almost like some kind of hand cannon that you really just don't need to. You don't need to pick up any of the other weapons because it's too good. So what is this new one then, Unfinished Business? Well, like I say, it's a kind of a new story that follows on from the end of the last game. You don't need to have played the last game to really understand the missions of the story. All of the upgrades to Robocop are unlocked straight away, and really this is a classic tower heist. You're starting at the bottom of Omni Tower, and you've got to basically fight your way to the top. So it's a bit basically Robocop meets Judge Dredd. The last film.
Cool.
So you've got to basically fight your way from the top to the tower, take out the bad guys, rescue people on the way, and that is basically the bottom line. It's got elements of RoboCop 3. You've got, do you remember the ninja androids? In that one.
Yeah.
So basically, you think about that. You've got Alex Murphy. There's a flashback to be Alex Murphy. There's a mission where you play as Ed 209. And of course you're leveraging that Auto 9 weapon, which is his handgun, which is so powerful. There's also a new weapon called the Cryo Cannon, which I'll let you guess what that does. But yeah, it looks good. It's not too expensive. It comes in at £25 if you can buy as a bundle, I think, of both games. And if you already got one, you do 10% on Steam. But yeah, I think, look, again, it's one of these games that you're going to pick up and play. It isn't going to take you 25 hours to play it. But if you want a good shooter with a bit of a storyline, a bit of great, audio from Peter Weller with his one-liners, then go for it. I think. But I got to pick it up. I was having a look at the day, and I wasn't sure, do I want to or do I not? But then I got a voucher from CD Keys, so I may bite the bullet on that.
Oh, why not? Yeah. If you enjoyed the first one, makes sense.
Well, yeah. Do you know what? It was good fun. You don't have to think about it. Basically, I am Robot. Walk around, punch, kick, shoot.
Just mindless violence.
Yeah, you're coming with me, dead or alive. Oh shit, you're all dead. Excuse my language. But yes, good fun. So that is Unfinished Business. Hopefully they'll make another proper sequel to it. It would be good.
Yeah.
We'll see. But I guess given there's only 3 films, and I'm not including that new remake that was 10 years ago.
Yep.
There is only 3 films, so and I know they did a TV series as well, but it's not really the same, was it?
No, it's not the same. No,
not the same at all. All right, so let's close out. Then what do we got there as our final pick coming up?
Battlefield 6.
Oh, classique.
So look, we had Battlefield 2042 that got a lot panned when it first came out. But you know what? We played it. It definitely got better with the patches, and I think at the end it's a pretty decent game. But look, I think they've gone a bit more back to basics, traditional Battlefield with Battlefield 6. It's still set in the future slightly from what I remember, but like 10 years, not quite a bit further out. They've downsized the player count. So in Battlefield 2042, you had 128 players on a map.
Sometimes it was crazy, wasn't it? On some of those
it was too big and too long and drawn out, wasn't it? So they've limited back down to 64 players again on a map. I presume the maps will be slightly smaller because of that. So they're kind of aiming for a smaller, faster paced battles, which is what I think it needed. Interesting. There was a bit of a hoo-ha with 2042 and the fact that you had what they called open weapon sets. So traditionally, Battlefield has had classes, hasn't it? You could be a medic, you could be an engineer, and with that, you get a limited set of options when it comes to weapons. But with Battlefield 2042, you could basically choose any weapon you wanted.
Yeah, make your own, wasn't it? Really, kind of specialism.
It was. But interestingly, with this one, they're not going back to closed weapon sets. They allow you to have both. So I presume when you set up a mission or a game on the server, you can say whether it's closed or open. So you have that effectively.
Yeah.
I quite like the open sets, but I'm not a die-hard Battlefield person. I just dive in for the fun. I was like, I like a sniper rifle. I like a short range, MP5 or whatever, so something short range, long range. I like to just choose what weapon I like and not be limited by other stuff. But I'm probably in the minority there, I imagine.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I quite like it as well. I mean, I use the same class every time, but I change my weapon set out to suit me based on what I wanted to skill up in, and obviously once you unlock different levels of the weapon, didn't you? But look at the trailer; it's pretty good. We're going back to New York by the look of it because it was not 2042. It was the mission before you, and I think it was one in New York. There's drone warfare, unsurprisingly. There's lots of things, but it looks like you say closer to current conflicts than it does 2042's rail guns and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
I like it. It's good fun. I mean, I'll be honest with you, it is good fun to play once you get into it. I'm not saying like you. I'm not someone who takes it too seriously. But
no, exactly.
Certainly like picking up and having a play.
We have a good laugh as a small little team, don't we? And have a play. Don't take it too seriously. But look, I mean, it's got overwhelmingly positive feedback from the different stuff I've seen. They had a small multiplayer beta test, an event. Sorry, for I think the journalists got to come in and play for 4 hours on multiplayer. I think the official
that job.
Yeah, exactly. Hard life. The official multiplayer launch or beta test is later this month, I believe, with a release in October, I want to say.
Yeah, so the open beta, I think August the 4th is the preload, and it starts August 7th.
So maybe we'll see if we can get a go on that one. But I mean, some other good news. They're beefing up what they call Portal mode, which is really Battlefield's version of Halo's Forge, where basically you can go and create customized scenarios. So basically kind of like a custom map mission. So you can tweak the number of bots and where they are. You can add objects as well as move some existing elements of the world around. You can write scripts to trigger certain events and stuff like that one.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
So, but also good news if you use Steam, you won't need the EA launcher anymore.
Oh my god!
Yeah, exactly. And actually, hardware requirements seem pretty low.
I thought that it didn't look like it was going to absolutely tax your machine out too much.
No, I mean they haven't put they've only released minimum and recommended. There's usually a tier above that, but I'm just going to talk recommended. Obviously, Windows 11, a 64-bit processor, so a Core i7 10th gen, or an AMD Ryzen 7 3rd gen, which we're on 14th gen for Intel now, and I can't remember where we are now with AMD. A couple of generations newer than what they said. 16 gig of RAM, an RTX 3060 Ti or a Radeon RX 67 XT, basically something with DirectX 12, a broadband internet connection, and 80 gig of space. So even the storage isn't obscene.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So
do you think
maybe they've optimized this?
Well, yeah. Do you think we'll get day one on Game Pass?
Well, it's EA though, isn't it? So I know you get the EA stuff with your Game Pass Ultimate, but you don't get all of it, do you?
No.
If it's Call of Duty, then I'd expect it day one on Game Pass. But whether we'll get this, I don't know.
Be interesting to see, won't it?
Yeah. And if it's not, what is the price? Is it going to be 80? No, I don't think.
Well, yeah.
It's EA, so they might do that.
Yeah, then in that case, I think I personally end up waiting. I think till it comes out.
Yeah. I mean, or will they just give it day one on Game Pass and try and make the money back on microtransactions, because there's still a fair amount of that in Battlefield 2042, isn't it? You can buy skin packs and all that. all that
some
kind
people
of
are
stuff.
doing that, aren't they? Obviously, so
I mean, I've even bought the odd one. Not a lot of money. I spent £3 or £4 maybe on a nice skin I liked for my character I chose.
Oh, I've heard it all now.
I know, but not silly money. Not like 20, 30. Like, just keep it under a tenner.
Okay, yeah, I'll keep that between us.
I didn't pay anything for Battlefield 2042. I thought chucking a tenner their way was probably okay for the amount of hours of enjoyment I got out of it.
Yeah, you're don't worry, your secret's safe with me. Oh, cool. Well, that's probably a good place for us to wrap up for today then. We'll be back next week with episode 217, where we've already got several stories lined up for you, a couple of rumours in the rumour mill ready to go as well. So I'm sure that'll be filling up nicely before we get to the next week. So, of course, you can find us wherever you get your podcasts. We're also on YouTube as well and on Blue Sky for all the notes that are published with the show. Tell your friends about us. Please like us. With that, I've been Jay.
I've been Karl. Have a good one all.